Well, all right, faculty. So here is my chance to talk to you a little bit about some of the opportunities that students have with regards to Office 365, how they navigate to it, how they use it, how they connect it to their D2L. But also I will, talk about how they can download things from 365 and put it into D2L because it's not really intuitive. And then I'll talk a little bit about Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, basically the GSuite, and how to kind of utilize that, or how students utilize that, and kind of the troubles that they have sometimes in taking things from that to the Dropbox on D2L. So again, all of this information, like I've been saying, will appear on the S Drive under Employee Training. All right, so first and foremost, how do students get to Office 365? Well, if they go to the, CNCC's homepage, click on Crossroads. They will log in. And in this case, I'm already logged in because I've been impersonating a student. And then they have the Office 365 button down here that they can do, or they can click on Student here on the left, and it populates right there. Okay, so they can click on Office 365, and it's going to give you this weird kind of dialog box, but that's just because we're in this process of kind of transitioning a lot of accounts, both student and faculty. So all they have to do is just click on that, and it'll process them through to that. They may get an optional kind of login screen, but again, it's just their S number and their password. Okay, so now that we are in Office 365, you note that it has the usual Office suite. But one thing that's important to know is that this Office suite is a very limited Office suite, meaning that if you go into Microsoft Word, a lot of the tools that we are used to on our desktop version are not there. Same in Excel, same in PowerPoint, and so on. It's just because it is an online version. It is really streamlined for online use. It's streamlined for mobile devices. So if you're requiring students to do a bunch of like editing work and tracking changes and all that type of stuff, just make sure that you suggest to them that they can download Office for free as a student, log in with their student S number and email account, and now they have it domestically on their Mac and PC. All right, so now, right, a student is in their Office 365. Say that they have a document that's saved on OneDrive, which is the cloud, and they want to take that file, download it, and say they want to upload it into D2L, which all of you know the upload part into D2L, but it's that, how do I get it from there to there that students tend to struggle with? So I want to show you how to do that. So let me just go into some file that I have on my OneDrive. So let's look at my cheat sheet here that I use for my students. Internet's running a little slow here. All right, so now that they're here, right, it's, as you can see here, it's a streamlined version of Office, so just remember that. So they can go here to File, Save As, and then download a copy. And this downloads a Word document format to the computer. They can download it as a PDF. And remember that the Dropbox on D2L will accept a whole gamut of file formats. But if you're connecting your Dropbox to Turnitin.com for similarity checking, make sure they upload it as either a Word doc or a PDF. It won't read pages. It won't read RTF, a text file, an ODT file. So make sure they download those two. So they just click on download, download again, and it'll populate into their download folder. And from there, the students know to go into their Dropbox, click on My Computer, and drag it in there, and now the file is there. The nice thing about 365 and D2L is that students have a really unique situation where they can easily access their Office 365 from within D2L as long as they have set it up. All right, so if it's a new student or if it's a student that has not connected their Office 365 to D2L, they will see on the D2L home screen this big black button here. And all a student has to do is click on this and follow the prompts that will ask them for their S number and their login to connect their 365 account. So why does a student want to do this? Well, first and foremost, right, all students should be using 365 because they have that free version. And it gets them that whole Office suite for free. More importantly, when they're using Office 365, it'll save things into their OneDrive cloud account. And if they connect their Office 365 account to D2L, it allows them, say, in the assignments section in a class, right, which we are all familiar with, to upload files not just from their computer, but from the cloud itself. It basically streamlines the ability for them to funnel their assignments into the Dropbox folder in the assignments section. And so, again, the instructions for this are pretty straightforward. If they have not connected, they click on that button on the home page, they follow the prompts for their S number and their password, and it's connected. There is a handout for this that, again, will be in the S Drive, employee training, and so on and so forth regarding this. All right, so now that a student has connected their 365 account, so in this case, Jelly Butter, that big black box has now been replaced with a 365 widget. And this 365 widget allows them to do a couple things. First and foremost, connects that OneDrive to their D2L, so it makes moving assignments like Word docs, PowerPoints, and Excel spreadsheets much easier. It also gets them access to their calendar, and as you saw here, it also gave them access to their Office Outlook email. So that functionality is there, and it is a useful tool. One last thing that I want to focus on is while we should be encouraging students to go and use 365 because it's there, it's easy to use, it's connected to D2L, most students you will find will not do this. They will stick with what they are familiar with, which is most likely the GSuite. Most of these students that are coming in these days have kind of gone through high school with a Chromebook, and so they know how to navigate Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. But the problem is, it's not quite clear on how they can download, say, a Google Docs document in a file format that you can upload into D2L that Turnitin can do the similarity check. So I want to show you real quick how to do this. And so if they're sitting here in their Google Doc, go up here to File, Download, and then Microsoft Word. Okay, so now it's downloaded into their download folder as a Word doc. Cool, we've got that first important part. My caution to you is sometimes the gremlins that are at B can meddle a little bit in your student's assignment. I have found often that when a student has done a lot of work in Google Drive, in Google Docs on their document, right? They've written a 5-page essay. They've done everything they can to follow my formatting guidelines, 12-point Times New Roman font, 1-inch margins, double-spaced, and they downloaded it and they dropped it into D2L, and I open it up and oh my goodness, none of that formatting is there. The gremlins sometimes will mess with that file format. And this is especially true in, say, those history and humanities classes where we're using Chicago Manual of Style. Their footnotes go haywire. So what I'm basically trying to get to you is remind students that if they've taken something from their GSuite, meaning their Google Docs, downloaded it, open it up. Make sure it looks the way it should be. It's formatted. It has all the information. And then if it's all good, then drop it in there. Don't give them that extra level of stress. Don't stress yourself out with, hey, this doesn't look right, and you dock points from that student. Just remind students to always double check before they submit things. Okay. I know that was a lot of information I just threw at you with regards to how students can access their Office 365 through Crossroads. I walked you through the linking process in D2L to their 365 account. I talked about how they can download a copy from their Office 365 to their computer, and then they can upload it into there, and I talked about Google Docs. Again, all of these handouts are available on the S Drive under Employee Training. And most importantly, like I have said, if you have questions, submit a help desk ticket, and either Fred, Paul, or Jake will be available to help you out with that. Good luck. Have a good start to the semester, and it's going to be great.